We're live from Dubai at the World Government Summit, and we have a special guest with us representing Caribbean states in many ways than one. She's the 8th Secretary General of the Association of Caribbean States, as also a career diplomat. I'm being joined by Noemi Espinoza Madrid. Thank you so much, Noemi, for joining us here. Let's begin with what you're here for, what you represent, and what's top priority for ACS.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. The ACS is very happy to be at the World Government Summit. We are hosting our 10th International Cooperation Conference in the framework of the World Government Summit, thanks to the partnership between the UAE and the ACS. So our priority is to bring concrete cooperation proposals for the MENA region and the Greater Caribbean.
Okay, in terms of how we're looking at the Caribbean today, it's a hot area. It's no longer as calm and peaceful, and the focus is not just about tourism and how beautiful the countries are, but how geostrategically important the countries have become. In that context, how are you looking at sovereignty issues, issues of engaging your partners, including, the United States of America, and ensuring peace and stability in the region?
Yes. Now, the Greater Caribbean and the Association of Caribbean States has a unique opportunity because we are a region, every country that touches the Caribbean Sea is a member of the association. And despite these geopolitical tensions, there's more that unites us, and we are about concrete results that respond to the needs of our people. So it is a hot area. It's climate. It's hot in climate issues, and there's an issue, for example, of sargassum, which is the seaweed that is all around the Caribbean Sea. That's one example of a concrete area that affects all of the countries where we come together to provide solutions. So that's what the ACS is here to do. We come from a place of neutrality to provide solutions for our peoples.
Climate change, like you said, is a major issue. When you come to a summit such as the World Government Summit, what is your expectation from the world? Has the international community failed the Caribbean nations when it comes to really fighting the good, big fight on climate change?
Yes. I think there's a lot, and my perspective about the Association of Caribbean States and Caribbean States in general is that we can provide our own solutions. Of course, we will do it in partnership with other regions such as the MENA region or other regions. We have partnerships with India as well. But it's not about failing, it's about finding the solutions. So this is where we are now. How can we move forward? And there's so much on the table that Caribbean states can bring. We have issues, for example, another project around mangrove restorations. Mangroves are the lungs of the world. So if people want to invest, or different regions want to invest on mangrove restoration in the Caribbean, it benefits the Caribbean, absolutely, but it benefits the world.
Okay, but all that requires finances.
Yes.
How are you looking at financial reforms? How much of that reform is required in nations, particularly individual states? And as a grouping, how do you look at financial reforms here?
Yes. I'm very much, as the Secretary General, pushing an agenda in alignment with the Sevilla Consensus that was adopted at the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development last year in Spain, because we need to look at innovative forms of financing. And again, if you look at climate issues, there's things like debt for climate swaps. Those kinds of things are things where the Caribbean needs to step in, and there's a lot of opportunity. It does require financing, but not surprisingly, not as much as you would think to really restore our planet.
Okay. Being part of the Global South, it's considered to be part of the Global South, and India plays a very important role and has become a voice when it comes to the Global South. Expectations from the Global South, and why do you see, or do you see Global South still a fragmented bloc rather than one that speaks in unison, is united, and takes every challenge as a group, as a bloc?
Yes. So the association, just to take you quickly a step back, has 29 observer states. India is one of them, and it is in that partnership of South-South cooperation. India is one of the best-known countries for South-South cooperation. I don't think it's about fragmentation. We all, even within the Caribbean, we have political differences between countries, but really we are about cooperation on the issues that unite us. The issues of sargassum, the ocean doesn't know borders, and so protecting those things, those issues that don't have borders, can be how South-South cooperation works. And of course, there's so much that can be done, again, with India, with other countries in the South. I do think that there's more cohesion among Southern countries than there was 10 years ago or 30 years ago when the association was formed.
Caribbean nations have always been quite aligned when it comes to policies, particularly engagement with your partners. That's the United States of America, the Americas per se. A lot has changed in the recent times. How do you, as the Secretary General, look at those geopolitical shifts in the region and yet ensure that sovereignty is respected?
Yes. No, absolutely. National sovereignty and even the sovereignty, the collective sovereignty of the Caribbean is not really an idea. It's an idea that I have. It's not an idea that's internationally recognized. But again, sovereignty around the issues that unite us. But of course, the sovereignty of each of our member states, of each nation, is paramount. We champion the sovereignty of our member states, and that enables us to work together in a manner that unites us while respecting our differences.
What was the reading of the association and of you as a career diplomat who's seen much of the situation in Venezuela and Trump's policies towards fighting drug trafficking?
Yes. Well, Venezuela is one of our member states, and we truly respect the sovereignty of our member states. Bilateral issues between two countries, the United States is not associated with the association at all, are really beyond the realm of our action. So Venezuela is an active member of the Association of Caribbean States, continues to be an active member of the association. We partner with them on many cooperation projects. They are one of the bigger countries, in the framework of the association. So we will continue to engage with them and as they move forward in this next phase.
And Ms. Madrid, was there concern after the actions that you saw against Venezuela, concerns about sovereignty being violated?
Well, again, I mean, there are concerns when there's such actions in the Caribbean Sea, of course. There are concerns for the safety of our various countries and concern for the well-being of the peoples. But I think, it's a bilateral issue that Venezuela and the United States or whoever else will work out, and we will continue to be there for them and to work with them.
The larger picture, the Caribbean also is quite rich in resources. Is there a vision as Secretary General for you to look beyond just every individual country looking at resources and how to exploit or use those resources for their benefit vis-a-vis the larger association working together and Caribbean coming together in terms of using those resources for their benefit? And I say this is because we'd seen Venezuela resource-rich, sanctioned, couldn't do anything about it. Is that something that you'd want to change?
No, absolutely. And absolutely, I think that's precisely what the association is all about. We have projects that are multi-country projects, so the more countries that one particular cooperation project can encompass, the better project it is. And I think there are resources like the ones in Venezuela, but there are other resources. The ocean itself is a very powerful resource. Like I was saying before, if we manage to protect the coral reefs, protect the mangroves, we'll be doing a great service to the Caribbean, but also to the world. It's a lifeline to the world, really, and the entire world will benefit when the Caribbean Sea thrives as a marine ecosystem that it is.
Okay, my final question to you, because I see your team saying we're running out of time. You go to these forums, you've been speaking, you've been engaging as a career diplomat, now as the Secretary General. Is the world really listening to the issues when it comes to climate change, environment? Is the world listening?
I like something from the opening of the World Government Summit today, because they brought it back to individual human beings. And I think sometimes if you look at the perspectives of people, of the large population of the world, young people especially, who are such a big number of the population of the world, they really know what they want, and they are saying it, and they are listening to each other, and it's a different movement. It will force governments and associations like ours to transform and to work differently, but we can do it. And the ACS is there for it. We will become more modern. We will act on the basis of what our populations really need for their benefit. That is our role, to serve the people of the Greater Caribbean. But we just need to get out of that bureaucratic way of doing things. I'm a career diplomat, like you said. I've been a bureaucrat for a very long time, but that doesn't work. We need to be modern and give concrete responses. We will be believed. Trust is built when you deliver results.
Do you have a message for the younger generation? You can look there.
Yes, absolutely. I think that the solutions of the present and of the future are in your hands. And the older generations like us need to learn how to look at how you look at technology, how you look at innovation, looking at artificial intelligence, the issue of this summit, to really bring the world forward. And I find a lot of hope in young generations. And I find hope in the world despite all of the challenges that we see. We will be successful.
Noemi Espinoza Madrid, thank you so much for joining us here on the network. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
That was nice.
Yes.